There were just so many lessons in that, like, um, but that broke a barrier, and it led us to now we only do higher paid projects, and um, eh, we've just become more and more professional and better to work with, and it just leveled us up. Hopefully that answered
Yeah,
your
so
question.
you took a risk in making this big investment in this course because money was tight at the time, but then you've kind of followed that impulse, like there's something I'm going to get out of it. So you moved a lot of energy in taking the risk and um, learning the material and putting it into practice, and then boom, like you got your return back multiplied.
Yes,
So
and I saw it as an investment.
exactly, you invested in yourself.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
worked. And when you spend that much money on a course, you are gonna do everything they tell you to do.
That's true.
Mhm.
That's true. We talked about that on a previous show, that it's like that people do have a little bit more appreciation when they put an investment into actually put what they're learning into practice. So
Yeah,
yes, thank you. KB, level up business, level up life, and go get what is aligned with you.
yeah.
Yes. I love
Yes, and
yeah.
I believe that in business, you don't have to work with anybody you don't wanna work with. You don't have to do anything that goes against your values, and my husband and I are very strict about that. If there's a company doing things that we feel is not good for the world or good for people or good for the environment, I don't care how much money is in it, we won't do it.
Yeah, so you follow also your own set of integrity and
Yeah,
values as well
yeah.
too. So, um, and those, they're simple things, but they're big. You know,
And you
they're
have to
simple
love
things, but they're big.
money. You
Yeah,
have to stop hating money. That's
yeah,
the other thing, because I grew up with a mother who always said, people with money are greedy, rich people are greedy. Oh, and hide your money. People are going to steal it. If you make money, people. So I had all these things. I mean, there were so many things I had to peel away, peel away. And I started saying, I love money. I love money. I'll tell you something fun that I started doing also. I started saying, even when it wasn't true, even when I had no money in the bank, I started every day. I would say, it's a good thing I'm rich. And I remember one day our tire blew out in our van, and my first reaction was, oh God, I don't have the money to pay for this. Like, that was my first reaction. But then I remembered, oh no, I'm changing the way I think about money. So when I went to the tire place and the guy says it's going to cost, like $1,200 or whatever, I looked at him and I laughed and I said, it's a good thing I'm rich. And I just kept saying that about everything. And it
I love it.
shifted my energy around money. And I
Hmm.
started carrying $100 bill in my pocket. Now we're talking 10 years ago. I still always have hundred or more bills in my wallet. Always. And my husband always has nothing in his wallet. And he laughs at me. He's like, "What? Why are you?" I said, "Because I like to feel rich. My wallet, even if I'm using a credit card, I feel good. When I have my wallet, I've got that $100 bill in there. It feels good."
Yeah, yeah. That's huge, is the scarcity mindset, and so
Hmm.
there's a lot of beliefs that, like you said, money is bad, or we don't deserve money, or we shouldn't charge for things that we do, and that maybe living a less abundant life makes you a better person. Like there's all kinds of kind of beliefs, and it's big in the spiritual community too. And I do feel it's a blend of being in service, but also you're like coming back to, you're allowed to have a comfortable life, you're allowed to be happy, you're allowed to have your needs met too. And I kind of feel like when that bucket is full, you have so much more to give to people, right?
I I give a lot of
Yeah,
money away, and it feels so good.
yeah.
And my husband, let me just say, we live in a tiny house, 930 square feet. And And but I love it. I love it. And I always say, well, it enables me to do all the other things I want to do. Just keeping just I love my house. We've lived there for 20 over 25 years. Um, but I get so much joy out of sharing the wealth. And my husband and I, we kind of have this weird thing. We never give money to charity. We just give money to people. So like there's homeless people, and we know all the homeless people, the regulars that have been around forever, and we help them out. Like and it feels really good because 10 years ago I couldn't have done that, or even 8 years ago I couldn't have done that. I couldn't have, we put a guy up in a hotel for a week because he was really sick and it was going to rain, and he had pneumonia, and my husband said to me, Tom's going to die. He's going to die if we don't do something. So we drove him to a hotel, and I booked him a room for a week, and I said, thank you, God, for allowing me to be able to have enough abundance to be able to do this, because it felt so good. I felt like we saved his life, you
Yeah.
know? And it was and if this was 10 years ago, I would have never been able to do that. And I would have been able to give him a room in my house because my house is too small. And it felt good. So when you get that abundance flowing, you can choose to charge whatever prices you want to charge. And you can also do things gratis for people who really need it. And you have the freedom to do that.
Yeah.
I do that for artists. I charge artists. I have artist mastermind that they pay to be a part of, and I also do coaching that they pay for. But if you're an artist and and I meet you somewhere, or if I run into you and you need help with something, I I will talk to you for an hour and help you just because I met you and I love you and I want to help you. Um, and it feels good. So you have the freedom to do that. You don't have to be poor to be I don't know, spiritual, awesome person.
Yeah, right. No, that's a big thing. It's good that we discussed that. It's really important. With a lot of comments about the scarcity beliefs and the limiting belief of like money being bad and all those kind of things. So I'm glad that we're transforming that, because that is huge. It's a huge thing, right? And to
Yeah.
be able to change it, and you do have a lot more freedom if you can be able to at least have your basic needs met, right? At least have your basic needs met. And then you have more freedom to do more things and do more creating and everything too. So there's a whole lot there. Fran's asking the question of the day for all the mediums: how does a medium make money? It's very similar. That's true, because we do have a lot of mediums in the audience here that just like it's hard to make money in the art world too, in the spiritual business as well too. It's a lot of work to build it, to basically be able to do this work and say not have to have another job. Would you have any recommendations too for how to do that, Maria?
I do actually. I think that if you're working with people, just like I started doing with the women's circles, although granted that's more
Mhm.
my side thing, but if you're working with people, I say start with small gatherings, start build put create an event, a private event, do it at your home, do it at a I don't know, do it at a park where it's free, where you don't have to spend money on the venue, and put it on a platform like eventbrite.com, or one of those platforms where you can announce an event and people can sign up and get tickets. And if you're brand new, you could start out with really low ticket prices just to start building, get the momentum, start building your followers. When I
Mhm.
think about Abraham Hicks, and how she got started, it started with just friends in her living room, and then it grew, and then it grew, and then it grew. And next thing you know, she's filling up, 2,000 people venues. But start there, start small. And the thing about starting small is you also build up your confidence, and you kind of get your rhythm with how you're going to run it. So, but yeah, start small and start charging just a little bit of money. You could even start with one free event just to like get your practice if you're nervous. Because some of us, the money gets in our head and we're like, oh my God, if I'm charging people now, I got to be this incredible thing. Well, maybe if you remove the money and get a little practice first, maybe with your friends, do a slumber party. I don't know. But just
Yeah.
start somewhere. Start lean into it. Just
Yeah.
lean into it.
You got to do something. You have to put the energy somewhere and find
Hmm.
a place. I remember, for me, it was like getting on social media. That was a huge thing. We're going back to like 2019, 2020, like right in there. And I had never done any social media before, and I just had to start small and build up. It was very scary for me, but I did it anyways. But that was another part of like being seen, and then slowly building a website and just getting out there and practicing, getting out there and meeting people, which, we tend to be a little shy in this community too. People a little bit more
Yeah.
introverted, very sensitive,
Yeah.
don't want to go out in public places and things like that. So we have to be comfortable in actually being more social out there too. That's a big thing too. And believing
You
that
have
you're
to
worth it. Yeah.
you have to step out of that comfort zone. You have to.
The comfort zone can be a huge trap. But and you have very well stepped out of the box and, you know, traveled, right? I think he told you not to travel too, right? Or told you don't quit your job, and then said you went and traveled the world instead, and just like, well, we're gonna do this, but oh my God, the
Figured it out.
experiences, the energy that you moved from that, and you
Yeah.
just went for your dreams. And when you're going for your dreams and you're on purpose, then the energy is all going to move in that direction for you. It has to. It's just the way it is. It's the way the universe
Yeah.
is.
Well, absolutely. Like when you know what you want, then you make a decision and you say, come hell or high water, I'm doing this. Even though I have no idea how I'm going to do it. I have no money. I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the wrong state. I'm in the wrong marriage, whatever. It doesn't matter. Soon as you decide what you want and you start taking action towards it, and then every decision you make leads you closer to it, not further, closer. Now, to you dog lovers out there, don't take offense to this. I love dogs, but one of the reasons I've never had a pet in my last 25 years of my life is because I knew that as bad as I wanted a dog, like I saw puppies, I wanted so bad, but I'd have to say, nope, if I do that, traveling, just being able to take a trip last minute will be impossible. It will be an anchor because we don't have family around here. There's nobody to babysit a dog for us. And, I didn't want to do the dog kennel thing as much as we love to travel. So that's like making a decision between this and this. Like every choice we make in life, it's like marrying the wrong guy or the wrong gal. Now, not all of you want to travel, but I'm just using this as an example. If you want to travel, like if you want to have a life like that, do not marry a homebody because now you've got a problem. Right. So it's just all these decisions that we make in life that lead us closer or further from what we want.
Yeah, very, very well said. And I want to say hi to everybody who's joined us as well. Thank you. Um, Colin is asking, Colin's a beautiful soul,
Mhm.
very, very elevated friend of mine. Could it be when the correct conditions are created, what is meant for us will present itself? Yeah.
Well, I like that, Colin, but I want to say don't fall back on that. You have all the power. So you have to not wait for conditions. That's the mistake most people make is they wait and they wait and they wait and they wait. You have to move material 3D in this world. You have to move something. You got to move your body. You got to make things happen, even if it's a little bit. It's like that girl walked into my gallery last night with her dog. She didn't know why she walked her. She's been looking for her soulmate for years, for a few years, and that's her focus. And then something told her to come here. You have to move.
Yeah, it does help to like just at least make the step, because we want to manifest, so we have to learn to really change those very deep hidden internal beliefs, but then also like make a step to as well. It's kind of like putting something into action, even if it's just a little thing. At
Yeah.
least you started to move the energy, right?
Yeah.
And I would say though that you have you also did create conditions in the sense of not having a dog, making sure you married another free spirit so that you could also be. So you did help create condition
Yeah.
to allow the rest to present itself too. But you did that very mindfully and purposefully. So it kind of all comes from a full circle. That's so cool, you know?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. And I had this idea in my head that it was hard to travel with children, and I had to get over that also, and that was something my mom put in my head.
Um,
Once you have kids, your life's over. Like, my mom would tell me that, and for most, I didn't have my son till I was 35, 36. I didn't want children because I thought, because I picked up that belief that my mother gave me, and thank God I, finally got rid of that belief. But yeah, it's a lot of our beliefs are from other people. They're not even
yeah.
ours.
Yeah, that's very true, and they follow us around, and we don't even realize it. I always say, "What you run from will chase you," so you have to kind of find out what's chasing you,
Yeah.
and then you can be able to make friends with it and
Yeah.
change it. It's like you have to make friends with what's chasing you, and then everybody's happy, and Team Jennifer and Team Maria,
Yeah.
and then it all starts to really transform and stuff too. So we've talked a lot about like manifesting and courage and the road to happiness, which is right up my alley. I'm really big on live your best life. It's the one life you have as you. I know you might have other ones, everybody, but it's the one time as you that you've got to make the most of every day of this life that you have. And we don't know when tomorrow is going to not be there for us. It's not promised. So it's like we've got to live every day. You have a new book that you're also working on, and you also did things unconventionally in this aspect as well, as COVID, a love story too. So I know Drew had a very, life altering battle with COVID, made it out kind of by the skin of his teeth from what it sounds like too. And you had to make some very tough, courageous decisions to keep him alive. Yeah.
Yes. And I'll tell you, spirit made the miracle because Drew is the only person in the entire country of the United States of America that survived what he survived. His doctors and nurses, some of them come visit us. They can't believe he's, first of all, that he lived, and second of all, that he's now walking and moving. He was on a ventilator for 70 days, 3 months, more than 3 months. Most within 4 days, most COVID, 85% of the COVID ventilated patients died within 4 days. Drew survived almost 70. Collapsed lung, multiple sepsis infections. The doctors actually tried to get me to sign off to full life support because he wasn't going to make it anyway, and he was suffering. He almost died in front of me multiple times. And what pulled him through, I believe, well, it was a lot of things. A lot of things, but there was so much prayer, and I just refused to believe that he was going to die. And actually, if I can just share a story, I know we're at the top of the hour, but I'll make it quick.
No,
I
it's
was planning his funeral because he was given, hours. And I remember I was driving on Pacific Coast Highway with my sister-in-law, and we had just left the hospital, and we were just devastated. And I'm the one to do everything, right? It's my husband. I'm planning the funeral and I'm thinking, okay, should we do the funeral here or should we do it in Myrtle Beach where his family is? And I'm thinking, okay, who am I going to have speak at the funeral? Like I'm literally planning all the details. I'm going to have him cremated, this and that. And then all of a sudden, a voice from like somewhere outside of me very clearly said to me, if you want him to live, you have to plan for him to come home. And I was jolted
Mm.
and I got it. I got it. I thought, oh my God. Okay. Okay. And then I thought, okay, so my job is to believe he's going to come home. And then I took it a step further and I have to make sure everybody else believes. And so from that moment forward, I learned how to have unwavering faith because trust me, I had no idea how to have faith in this because everything said he was going to die like any hour, any day. And the doctors, had granted, I don't blame them. They had given up on him. I don't blame them because nobody survived what he was in. And so he was in a coma for a month. And in that time, even though like we had friends that worked at the hospital, they all knew he was going to die. But I came out publicly on social media. My husband has a big platform, and I started posting from his platform and telling everybody what was going on, but I would put a positive spin on it. I need your help. I would ask the audience, I need your help to please envision Drew painting and surfing and living again. And I'm going to say probably tens of thousands of people did just that. People that didn't know him, people who heard about him, people who did know him, people all over the world prayed. And when he had his near-death experience, when he came out of the coma, and he couldn't talk, by the way, for a couple of months, he couldn't speak, and he was fully paralyzed. But a couple of weeks after he came out of the coma, he could finally move one hand and write. And that was the first thing he wanted to write about was the near death. And he told me in these scribbled words that he saw love and he felt when he went to the other side, he saw all the prayers and they pulled him back. And then after that, we had a broken body that weighed 105 pounds that was paralyzed and dying. And I convinced a number of the medical professionals caring for him that he was going to make it. And they started doing all these things that they weren't really supposed to do. And he wasn't supposed to come off that ventilator. They were sending him to a nursing home for the rest of his short life. And there were respiratory therapists that fought to get him off. And they did the impossible. You don't get off a ventilator after 60 days. They got him off of it. He came home in a wheelchair after almost 5 months and weighing 128 pounds. And we got more people to create this miracle. I mean, it just, all these people that believed in the impossible took action that you would normally never take because it was impossible. Why would you bother? And now he is back up to 180 pounds. He's surfing big waves. He's off the oxygen. He's painting. He's living life. He's bringing me coffee in bed every morning because that's how he shows love. And that's the power of belief. And there's so much more to this story.
Yeah.
You just have to read the book.
Yeah. We're very excited for that to be published. And yeah, I would definitely love to have you on again. We can talk more about that. But I've gotten major chills and so much emotion. And I know I'm feeling everybody else's emotion as you tell your story too. And so we've really got to talk so much about belief in yourself, changing those old beliefs, putting your energy into action, trusting, unwavering faith, and miracles. And what a beautiful combination, because it's us and then it's the greater part that we're part of too. It's like of spirit, the infinite, and our little and also very huge grand selves all moving that together. It's just beautiful. Vivian, yes, I can feel all of our hearts beating together in this moment. It's one synchronicity. More chills. Thank you for sharing that. I don't usually get brought to tears in these shows. I'm like, oh God.
Wait till you read the book. You're going to be crying like crazy. I had a friend read the rough draft, and she told me she read it in her tub over 2 days and cried. And of course, as we all know, it's a very happy ending.
Yeah. And I know I've seen some of the pictures, and I remember that journey too. And he was so skinny, so just kind of like wasted away. And then the transformation is incredible. And you're telling me he's the only one in the United States who got off a ventilator and lived and survived and thrived.
With all that had happened to him. Yeah. And every doctor, nurse, and everybody's told me that. So we have not been able to find anyone else that survived all that.
Wow.
And so we know it was a gift. It was a gift, and we're still, sorting through that gift. It was a gift for others, not for us. Although it was a gift for us too, because we grew so much. I mean, I learned what faith is. I never knew what it was before.
Yeah.
Faith is the moment I got what faith was when I said, God, I know it looks like he's going to die. And I know he very well might die. And if he dies, if you take him, God, I surrender to that. And I will make my life great no matter what. My life's going to be great. But until he takes his last breath, I believe he's coming home. And that paradox is what faith is. It's knowing he very well could die and probably will. But until he does, I'm going to believe he's coming home. And I'm going to tell everybody he's coming home. And I'm going to redo the backyard for when he comes home. And I redid his office here at the gallery for when he came home. And I just did all these things for when he comes home.
And he came home.
Yeah.
Vivian, miracles are happening every day. Please go look for them. Yeah. They're probably not going to be on the news. So go outside.
They're not putting these things on the news.
Occasionally you get a little spotlight story, but I mean, that it's a reminder for all of us that, every day that we get to live this life, even if it's hard, even if the world has bad things, hard things happening in it, we every day that we have in it is a gift to live and to learn to be happy and to learn to make the best of it. And that's why no one wants to leave, even though it's hard, even though it's a scary world in some places with the things that we see going on. But we love each other. The power of love is so palpable and strong, like you and your husband and your beautiful family. That power of love made everybody want to stick together and made him stay here in this reality because of that love too. And so every little heartbeat we have is a gift, says anybody who's got a heart problem. Every breath is a gift, says anybody who can't breathe because they have to be on a ventilator, right? So there are miracles everywhere, and every one of us is a walking miracle.
Yes,
we exist. So I am so honored that you have shared many of your experiences and so much wisdom and beauty and all of your courage with everybody here today. So just a big thank you, a big hug from me for that too. And I look forward to having you back again in the future on Embracing Infinity. And if we're lucky, Drew will come too. That will be amazing as well too. And is there any way, I mean, it's been these mic drop moments the whole hour, but any things you've got coming up that you'd like to share with our group? I know we've got your book coming out too. Kelly, if we could put Maria's links on as well for everybody too. And then any final words that you would like to share with everybody here today.
Yes, I do have some final words. And before I do, I want to invite everybody just to click on the link about the book that I have coming out, COVID, a Love Story. And if you put your email address on that link, you'll get notified when the book is published. And it will be very soon, in about 5 weeks. And what I'd like to just say is when we have really difficult things happen, there is a gift in all of it. Even your loved one dying in the hospital, even a divorce, everything has a gift in it. And it's really hard to see it, obviously, when we're going through the pain of it. But once you get through it, you start to see what that gift was, how it made you stronger, better, maybe opened your eyes to something you needed to see about yourself or about others. And that was the biggest lesson I got out of this whole thing with Drew dying in the hospital. Was there were so many gifts that came with it that I don't wish it didn't happen.
Yeah, I think a lot of us come to that. We end up, once you finally see how it all ends up, tying together and where you've come from it, you think you wouldn't go back and change it because of all of the growth that you've gotten from it as well too. Hey, Paul, thanks for joining us too. And so beautiful, Maria. And I subscribe, so I'll know when your book is coming out. Too. Very happy about that. And everybody, Kelly's put all of the links there in the comments for you, and they're also in all of the adverts for our show as well, so you'll be able to go and find it. And we still look forward to that coming out because I know that's a labor of love. And you're so right. It's like you've given birth to many beautiful gifts through some difficult gestations, but wow, the gifts keep on coming. So thank you so much, Maria. Thank you to everybody who has joined us. I love you. Thank you to everybody who's joined us. If you could please remember to click the little reaction button, give us a little heart. And thank you for your comments, for sharing, for subscribing, and for your follows as well. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. We look forward to having you on Embracing Infinity next Friday. And please, everybody, may all of this beautiful healing, and we created a lot of beauty here today, be infinitely multiplied and spread across the planet so that every being will feel loved, seen, heard, and have a beautiful, abundant life, especially our children. Live well, love well. Please, God, love you well. And walk with grace. Big hugs for me. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Kelly for taking good care of us, our producer. And thank you, Veronica Jenkins, for allowing us to stream on your page, online live psychic readings. And have a beautiful weekend. Happy, happy Mother's Day to all of our moms out there and in spirit. Lots of love. Goodbye and have a beautiful weekend. Thank you. Bye.